Okay. Don't be talking
Can you
like
please
that.
tell us your name?
Roger Hatfield,
Okay, and where were you born?
Glen Allen, West Virginia.
What was life like for you as a boy?
Well, it wasn't really bad. We didn't have a whole lot to do. We either went to a movie or played ball.
What did your dad do for a living?
He was a coal miner.
How long did your dad work at the mines?
I'd say about 35, 40 years.
Can you describe some of the different places that y'all lived, what it was like?
Well, we lived up in the head of Glen Allen Holler in a coal company house. And when I was 7, maybe 8 years old, we moved there out to Lobeda, West Virginia, in the coal field. And we lived up on Bing Creek, West Virginia, where my dad was raised and born. And we didn't have a car. We had a bicycle. I had one bicycle between us. And we worked in the coal mines when we lived on Bing Creek, which we didn't have a shower in the house. We took a bath in the creek. And that was about 1 or 1:30 in the morning during the night.
Did y'all? What were the roads? Were the roads blacktop or?
No, the roads was dirt road in there.
Okay. What was school like when you were going to school?
Well, I went to school, one-room schoolhouse, and they taught up to the 6th grade in it.
And did y'all have a church there or anything?
Yes, we had a church.
Did you have a church?
We'd go to Sunday school on Sunday.
Did you work in the coal mines?
Yes, I worked in coal mines for 18 years.
Okay. And, when did you start working in the coal mines?
In 1948.
Where was this at where you started working?
That was at Lobeda, West Virginia. I started out as a supply man.
Okay. What did they do?
They drug pans and chains up into the face where the men were loading the coal. They'd move up the cut of coal, and they'd lay a pan, put a 6-foot pan down, and then they would load the coal in the pan line, which in turn took it to a conveyor head and loaded it in 9 cars.
Was there any other kind of machinery that y'all would use?
Well, we used mostly it was a cut machine and a drill. That was about it. We used a drill to drill the coal with it to shoot it down. The cut machine cut the bottom out from under it. And then when we shot it, it just sat down on the bottom and busted up, and they loaded it up in cars.
Was there a certain way you would shoot the coal? I mean, how would you go about doing that?
Well, we'd put maybe 1 or 2 sticks of dynamite in each hole and tape it out with clay dummies. And then when you patted it out there, let it all squat down instead of shooting forward.
How high was the ceiling in the mines when you worked?
Where I worked was about anywhere from 32 to 38 inches at the most.
So you couldn't stand up?
Couldn't stand up. You had to walk or crawl on your knees.
And were there a lot of accidents?
Well, there was a few, not many serious.
Did you ever see any serious accidents?
Yes, I saw one. I saw a man killed. His neck broke. That was at Red Jacket, West Virginia.
Can you tell what happened?
Yes, I was braking on the motor at that time, and he got up in the motor beside of me. And we was going up on the section, and when we started up on the section, he raised up, and his head caught the top. He bent it back and broke his neck. He killed him.
I know that you guys were on strike a lot, and you had to move around to different places, different mines, and all that. How did it affect your family? You being out of work, not getting paid? Was it hard?
it wasn't good, but still we had plenty to eat. Union fed us. They put out groceries for us.
What were the strikes about? Why were you all on strike?
Well, we had guys that would come in there trying to take their job, working for less money than what we was getting, and we didn't want that to happen. They was trying to break the union, and we was trying to hold it together.
I heard there was a lot of violence during the strikes. Was there violence?
Well, wasn't nothing real serious. A lot of threatening going on, but as far as killing anybody, no, nobody was never killed any.
Can you tell us about any times when there are incidents with these men trying to take your jobs?
Well, really, we back up on the hillside, and if we thought scabs was coming in there to try to take our jobs, why, we'd fire a couple of shots and scare them off and get rid of them.
I know a lot of people left West Virginia from the mines, didn't they?
Quite a few of them left. There's not too many down there that I know now.
There's not. Okay. How do you feel about unions in general?
The union is one of the greatest things ever was, if it's run the right way.
How do you feel? What do you feel about men who are non-union workers who try to take union men's jobs? How do you feel about them?
I said it all along. I don't think much of no man that comes up and tries to take my job to begin with. Something that don't belong to him to start with.
And how do you feel about John L. Lewis?
He's one of the greatest men that ever walked.
Did he play a big role in the union?
Yes, he did. He organized the union.
Okay. And how do you think the coal mines would be today without the union?
Well, there wouldn't be much of a coal mines without the union. Of course, most mining nowadays is non-union, and they just push you around and do what they want to.
Was your whole family union?
Yes, every one of them.
And did you ever have anybody close to the family that wasn't union? Was there ever
Well, I
problems
had a
like that?
brother-in-law that was non-union. He was a foreman, and he shot his mouth off a time or two at the coal mines, and they picked him up with seed tanks and threw him over the bank into a briar patch, and that was the end of that.
Okay. Did your brothers work in the mines too?
Yes.
Okay, all of them or just?
Well, one of them didn't, which was Ted. He didn't work in mines. But four of us did.
Were you the first of your brothers to work in the mines, or
No,
who was?
Jimmy was, my brother Jim.
Okay. Was he working when you started working?
Yeah, we worked together for years.
Okay. And did your other brothers work with you too, or?
Yes, me and Jack worked together in the mine.
Okay.